Hey, Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where it's all Juve all the time. And we are going to recap one of the best Mercados I think I've ever witnessed. The fact that
Mhm.
it came in January is absolutely wild. But I got Frankie, I got Anthony, and we have been revved up for this one. It seems like a
Mhm.
blur, fellas. Like it was so wild. Like a lot
Tired.
of this whole Mercado was just
Crazy.
news, rumblings,
Mhm.
rumors, and no action. And you're just like, you know what? We all came to terms that not much is going to happen. And then all of a sudden, boom, right near the end, a span of 3 days, and Cherubini and Arriva Bene have Juventini absolutely jacked, and rightfully so. Guys,
Well,
pumped to cover this one.
somebody said it was the last show. I believe it was you who said it. Oh, we're gonna take it easy
Oh.
for a couple weeks. We're looking forward to the transfer market. We're gonna take it easy for a couple weeks. You couldn't have been more wrong. Now I know I'm wrong every once in a while, but you were dead wrong about that one. But the first 7 days
Oh,
were kind of
true.
quiet, and then man, the last 7 days,
I
wow.
didn't. I expected a nice little break here,
Yep.
and I'm happy to be wrong about that because
Mhm.
Juve went off and did some fantastic business. The live is already fired up, ready to go. Yeah, I can feel this energy that the management has put on with these moves, the action.
Yep.
It's great. We're gonna cover it all, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, the fact that it came in January, incredibly shocking. But let's start off with some of the outgoing fellas and
Mhm.
talk about Kulishevsky. Obviously, Kulishevsky and Bentancur both heading to Tottenham. Okay. Very, very interesting swing there. Now, Bentancur, we knew about the clause 30% will be going to Boca, whatnot. Um, Kulishevsky, though, this was one that fans were pretty split on the discussion of him going. There is a stipulation in there. I don't know if it's 100% confirmed as of yet, but all the rumblings seem to state they need to make a top four finish for Tottenham, and then it becomes the obligation to purchase. I came out and said that it's a win-win for Juventus, even if Kulishevsky does end up coming back, because I think
Mhm.
training with Conte and being pushed mentally and physically more than he ever has would be a bonus, even if he were to return. What do you guys think about the Kulishevsky outgoing there? And do you agree with kind of my thoughts on him training there with Conte and whatnot? Frankie, you look ready to go on this one.
Before
Yeah.
Frankie jumps in, so we're looking at it's a initial $10 million loan, so it's 3 million this year, 7 million next year, with 35 million over 5 years if the deal is made permanent. Not bad. Sorry, Frank, go ahead.
Yeah, economically, it makes sense. I've always said the same thing. I would personally, I like Kulusevski. I know he was a talented player, but I always say if the numbers are right, you sell the guy. But the numbers needed to be right. I
Hmm.
wouldn't I didn't want Juventus to lose money selling Kulusevski. You have to maintain at least go even. Don't lose money. The money was right. The opportunity is right. I like Kulusevski going to play under Conte. And so that for me is a win-win. On the other side, but Betancourt, I I I like Betancourt. I always said he was from the two guys. Everybody was always criticizing Betancourt. I always said I'll take a guy like him every time on my team. He
Hmm.
puts in the effort. I would rather Juventus obviously sell Rabio. It's my opinion, but at the end of the day, the money was there. It's an opportunity to gain money, so it's not something that I disagree about. It's okay that it happened. So it was a good thing to give those players to Tottenham to receive that money that could help us in the future.
There you go, Anthony. What do you
Yeah,
think?
good young player, just never really hit the ground running this year. I thought he had an okay season last year. A lot of people said he was brought in for sorry. Now we have to remember one thing: these are still human beings. They're young. To treat to talk about like, oh, let's get rid of this player. They still have to like uproot themselves and move to different places. So when you're on Twitter, a little bit of compassion for these human beings, right?
Yeah.
What
What
that
about
being
Ramsey?
said, I don't have a problem with the move.
What about
You know,
Ramsey?
take it easy, Frank. I don't have a problem with the move. I'm not into conspiracy theories, not that much, but I still think this deal was sweet because it had Bentancur tied to it. I think, this one was kind of pushed up a little bit to bring the Bentancur one down a little bit to reduce the amount that goes to Boca Juniors. A little bit of a conspiracy theory, but Godspeed to the kid. Maybe he turns around. I don't see him coming back though.
We might as well get into the Bentancur thing. So, I mean, as it stands with the Bentancur side of things, 19 million over 3 years, 6 million potentially in bonuses, right? A profit of around 4 million euros. But again, I think it's just, Juve constantly feeling that feeling of when do we bite the bullet on that? When do we make that move? So I kind of agree that the pairing with the Kulusevski deal and getting the Kulusevski one over the lines kind of what made it happen in the long run, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's a good chunk towards the Vlahovic incoming, right? So that's an issue. We'll get to Vlahovic. Don't worry about that. But the Bentancur thing, Kulusevski thing, yeah, it kind of, I think, just goes hand in hand to help them get rid of Bentancur with that clause. I think it was always kind of just this thing that was hanging over them and whatnot. And I think that obviously, potentially, they just didn't see Ramsey finally accepting a team after six clubs. And the funny thing was, I think Everton was in there at one point. Palace, Crystal Palace, some of these clubs, Rangers. And at the end of the day, he goes to the Rangers. So
makes sense. So
the most disturbing fact, and if Juventini still have some questions about Cherubini or Arriva Bene, the clause I heard today of Ramsey becoming an automatic renewal if he stayed until this summer, that is shocking business.
Yeah.
And that is exactly the sign that we needed to see to know that Paratici needed to leave 100%. That is brutal. Like, as these details unfold, it just gives you more and more faith that we did the right thing and move in the right way.
Relax.
Real quick, Anish here, recognizing that, yes, Super Chat has arrived in all UVcast. We've had some subscribers and everything and followers reach out and just ask, hey, when will Super Chat be activated? It's just a method for people who wish to donate and support just have some fun with it, and we'll use it towards any of the incoming costs, equipment, and just try and boost everything for you guys. So yeah, that is out now.
So excited about that, Al. I can't believe that's happening. I have no idea what it is, but it sounds like it's awesome.
It is a way for our incredible community to support the show and any of the costs and whatnot. It's just simply donations, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Now, do you guys that Ramsey thing, mind-blowing stuff, hey?
Go
ahead.
No, you go ahead. Come on now.
Okay, Lou brought up a good point in our chat. Rangers make sense because really they pretty much play in Europe every year. Scotland has to go through early qualifying for Champions League. I only know this because half this household is a Celtic supporter, so we know that the first two teams in Scotland, they start qualifying in like July for Champions League. They're in like the fourth round, like it's like 4 pre-rounds of qualifying, but they pretty much make it to Europa League, at least Europa League every year, those two clubs. So him choosing Rangers over those England clubs makes sense because they're going to be playing in Europe. And Rangers is a massive club. Like, don't kid yourselves. Massive club. Huge.
Have to say I like Celtic better.
I'm not bringing up Celtic or Rangers. I'm just saying Rangers is a big club. It makes sense for him to choose that club.
That's how opposite to me is Ramsey. He goes to another team and he goes to Rangers.
Right.
But
They're a big club in that neck of the woods.
no, that but they're
No
come
comment
on
from
now,
Ralph.
come on now.
They're a big club.
Don't
Next.
They're Ramsey big level. Makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Rangers make sense.
What is important
It's a
is the
shitstorm.
Rangers got a spectacular player, and they should buy him now. If they want to make the cut,
41,000 euros per minute is what Ramsey accumulated. Based on the minutes he played, 41,000 euros.
yeah, but
shocking.
he's probably gonna be good for them because kidding aside, the problem with Ramsey was always injured. Like it was injured for me, in my opinion. For Rangers, if the guy stays healthy, and that's a big if. If the guy stays healthy,
He will play every minute, Frank. He's going to play every minute for the rest of the season. Rangers.
I would.
He's going to play every minute of the first match till he gets injured and carted off.
But
okay.
He's gonna
Anyways,
become Messi
all right,
now.
you two.
That was
Messi.
the one knock that many Juventini had against this management was like not giving perfect scores on this Mercato was because of the fact they couldn't move Ramsey. I didn't hold it against them because again, we talked about it. 6 clubs this guy turned down. What on earth like would this management be able to do other than try to get these suitors coming? He had 6 teams and he keeps saying no. So I've never held it against him and I hold a high score. But now let's get to the incoming. Okay. Let's get to the incoming. Gatti's an interesting one. Okay. So we know that Juve wanted Bremer. Torino was preventing making that move for Bremer. That was the choice. Then all of a sudden Gatti comes in and everybody, and this was late in the Mercato too, like the day before the final day, second to last day. And he said basically, or a lot of the speculation by Juventini was being said that was their block because Gatti was going to be the replacement for Bremer, who looked like it was going to go to Inter. Okay. So Juve went out and got Gatti instead. I asked Mirko Di Natale and said, hey, is this kind of making sense that they would do that? Was there high level of interest in Gatti previously? And Mirko Di Natale told me that Juve was always having eyes on Gatti so that he doesn't automatically put this towards that block and that there was high level of interest for Gatti. Of course, time will tell. And of course, there's always endless possibilities. But Frankie, we know you were going to be jacked on this Gatti one. Let's hear your thoughts on this one.
That was my favorite move of the Mercato. Personally, obviously, everybody likes the big splash, but you're probably securing the best center back in Serie B. Gatti is the best center back in Serie B. So he's 23. Obviously, he's young. He needs to develop. But man, the guy has the talent. He reminds me a lot. Like, we'll always speak. The match doesn't start before Chiellini has like the raps because he's with blood. But the same with Gatti, but with his shirt, because he's always like ripping his shirt in the middle of the game, like he scores, and like he's a big tough guy. And man, he's probably, I wouldn't be, frankly, if he develops in a good way, I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in the international team with Italy, because Italy doesn't have a lot of those guys right now, because Chiellini and Bonucci probably are moving on, and you don't see a lot of Italian defenders that are big, physical, imposing, and that's a guy, and for me he's 100% Juventus DNA in that sense. Like, he looks like a guy who's gonna beat you. So I really like that move. And he wasn't that. It was 7.5 million, if I'm not mistaken. So you're securing a young guy that could probably develop into a very good defender in the future for that price. This is a win-win. And probably if the guy doesn't develop himself, you can later sell him because he's still young and he's Italian. There's a team who's going to buy him in Italy.
Yeah. George hit it right on the head there. Low risk signing. Leave him at Frosinone for the rest of the year. Bring him in the summer. See how he battles it out with the big boys, and then loan him out to a Serie A team next year. You get, Regani's having a good little stretch here, right? Let's see what we have with him. You have your backup in case Demirel doesn't come back, in case Dragusin doesn't pan out. It's a good move. It's a good move. It's a good chess move for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we had some interesting numbers just, in the outgoing that I wanted to get to too, that I didn't. But yeah, Ramsey, we talked about 112 minutes played this season. So 112 minutes
He
played.
appeared in 5 games. I was like, I had to double check that. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he
was
set
used
foot
in
5 games.
5, and yeah, obviously
remember
not
that.
memorable. Kulishevsky, 972 minutes. Chiesa, who's been out for a bit, 1,204.
Yep.
Bentancur, 1,585. So it's just interesting there, going back to the Kulishevsky and the minutes played and stuff. He had an opportunity, I thought. I thought he had more than enough opportunities. Just the kid, again, I think he suits that. I think he stood out a little more at Parma because of that counter-attacking style and whatnot, but his game changes drastically when you join Juventus and teams park it, and all of a sudden different skill sets need to come to the forefront. But the minutes thing was huge. And then obviously with
They're not made
Ramsey's Ramsey, yeah, we made him up.
They're not.
Ramsey's
They're real.
minutes there and on that salary. Fantastic work by the management. We talked about Gatti.
23.
Now let's get to Zakaria. Zakaria, that was a good one too. And again, Juve's top choice, apparently. That was the first guy that they lined up and wanted. We saw the links and rumors with Bruno Guimaraes and other players, but in the end, this was the guy Juve want, and they found a way to get him. We talk about Gatti, obviously the big one, Vlahovic. This was the biggest thing for this Mercato, is the fact that, someone brought up, I think it was Death Clutch earlier, that feeling with Baratici, we would settle. I like that we didn't settle. Okay. We got our guys. We found a way to make it happen, and we made some outgoing moves, because before it's like we dealt with that after. And I think the reason it took so long was Juve trying to figure out how they were going to get rid of some of these players, where the outgoing guys were going to be dealt, and then make their moves there. Because again, it was rumored for a while that Vlahovic had an agreement since October with Juventus. So starts to make sense. But Zakaria, guys, thoughts on Zakaria and his impact to the middle of the pitch?
I'll start because I'll be quick, Frank. I have not watched any games of Montenegland Goldenbach, wherever the hell he's coming from. But I will say I watched him with the national team. Good young player. Our group, and I will give credit to some of the members of the All Juve cast in our back chat there. They've been asking for this kid for a while. Like, I can't put my finger on who was throwing his name out, but as a group internally, this kid's name was thrown around a lot, and there you go. Boom. Kedabini goes and gets it done.
There you go, Frankie Zakaria.
Well, I've seen some games from Borussia Mönchengladbach. I read it. I totally read it. I didn't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, but I saw him with the international team, and he's a guy who's gonna be great defensively. He knows he knows how to carry the ball, so he's not people always saying, oh, like Matuidi. I think his on ball skills are better than Matuidi, and he's gonna get the ball back. That's the main thing. That's why Allegri wanted him. I want to see how Allegri uses him, because I'm not, people are already saying that that's gonna free Luca to go forward more, but I'm not that sure, man. I'm not. I don't know if Allegri is gonna put him at that CDM position and move just Luca a little bit forward. I'm not that sure. I think it's a good signing though, low cost. The guy has played good with his international team. I haven't seen a lot of games this year about obviously in his team in Germany, but it's sort of low. The salary is not that big. The team, the paying fee for the player was not that big. The guy wanted to come, and also a little bit of him. So that's what is important. So I think it's a good signing for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, what's the total deal? 8.6 million euros, four and a half to be
8.6.
paid over a total of 3 years. Yeah, he
Yep.
was going to be free in the summer, but hell of a boost for the
Yep.
next second half of the season there to bring him in. Yeah, just again, I remember that showing he put on with the Swiss against the Azzurri in the Euros there, and he came in and bossed that middle. It was impressive to watch, and I've got high hopes for him joining and making a big difference. Of course, now we get to the man of the hour, the one that just sent the shock waves through Juve Twitter,
Unbelievable.
just wild stuff. Vlahovic. Vlahovic, what can you really say? I mean, we know what he's capable of. He's at 17 goals currently. We have to find a way to unleash him. Our team has scored a total of 34 goals. I think he's got 50% of what we've scored as a team, and that was playing with Fiorentina there and whatnot. Man, there's a lot of
That's the
pressure
name.
on this kid. Big deal. I've seen YouTube videos out there. I've seen rumblings from other rival fans as they make videos, and it's funny because they're not Juventus channels, whatnot, but they make videos on reactions to Vlahovic joining Juventus. Of course, there's a ton of salt and a ton of tears. Okay, so I had to watch those videos with towels to soak up all the tears. There was flooding happening. Okay, they said we spent too much money on Vlahovic, and that is too much money. My first question to the two of you: is it too much money for this player?
Can we get
No.
to Anish here first,
And
really
first
quick?
of all, yeah, thank you. Massive thank you. Obviously, donation there. And Ramsey
Awesome
is
stuff.
gone. And he hopes to join the cast after 2 months. There you go. There you go.
Well, we're
Like,
gonna put that donation, which is wonderful. Thank you very much. We're gonna put it. It's gonna have. We're gonna buy a container to hold Luca's tears over the Ramsey loss, right? To catch all of Luca's tears.
Lucas, cheers for
That's
Ramsey.
cheers for Ramsey, just for
There's
you,
not
Luca.
a big enough container for that.
That's
For
amazing.
those
Massive
tears.
thank you, Anish, there. And guys,
So
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic, go
Did we
ahead, Frank.
spend too much? That is their one thing. Everybody says they spend way too much
No,
for this player, and not a
no,
chance in my eyes.
no.
The market dictates that, and it's been like that for a while with these guys. And the biggest thing is getting this guy at the age of 21. Massive. Your guys' thoughts? Too much?
Frank?
No. Of course not. You're getting a guy who's 22 right now because he actually signed a contract on his birthday. But at 22, his salary is 7 million, which is something. It's not humongous, so it's good for us. You're getting a big striker who's also has good on ball technique, who is able to hold on to the ball. Man, I don't see any problems. I've been talking about this guy like since 2 years ago when he started playing, being the center forward for Fiore, playing consistently, and the guy is other than Haaland is probably the most talented striker in Europe. In Europe, so what you teams were gonna pay more in the summer.
Yeah.
I'm Frank. I truly believe the Premier League or maybe another team was going to come in summer and pay 80, 90 million probably. We're getting him for 70. Nah. I'm drinking those tears right now.
Oh yeah. It's a normal price tag. I mean, he's 21 years old. He's tied for the lead, Capo Cagnonera. He's been banging in goals like crazy. Highly sought after talent. And there was already, he even spoke about in his presser. Obviously, he had a press conference today. Said all the right things. And this guy, again, I said he's a different breed. And these guys are rare. And you hear him speak, he's already talking like he's a seasoned veteran, in his late 20s or whatnot, and early 30s. He says all the right things. He's got that mentality. He, to me, is another one of these Matthias de Ligt generational type guys. And man, our core looks incredible all of a sudden if we can keep the band together.
It's wild, man.
Vlahovic is massive.
If you
Absolutely
just look at the
massive.
numbers, like we had a we had a pre-signing day. Remember what day was it? Monday. You and I did a video, and then we did a signing day video, and then now we have this one here. We've reiterated so many times the magnitude that this kid's going to have. 22 years old, so it's an $81.6 million deal, which includes 11.6 million for solidarity payments, which is, I believe, to the agent, most of that, and then 10 million in bonuses. $7 million, 7 million euros a year puts him. Let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Puts him 8th on the roster in terms of. It would have been 9th if Ramsey stayed, but he's
Oh
the
my
8th
God.
highest paid player. He's just behind Cuadrado and just ahead of Morata for
Yeah.
Vlahovic. Like, who are we kidding here? So, great business, like unbelievable business done this transfer window, and getting that one done halfway through. And the only real issue is that now we had to wait 2 weeks to see this kid in a Juventus jersey. That's the real problem.
No.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's look at all these points here too. Equaled CR's record for goals in a calendar year with Fiorentina. He's destined for
point.
success. I mean, it's massive.
And-
Again, the price tag totally expected, and honestly, people want to wait. They said, not us. Juventini wanted him immediately. We love it. The rivals were saying, well, you could have waited. It would have gone down, whatnot, price because. Fiorentina can't risk losing him at less. Or listen, the biggest thing for us is the statement that the management made that they're going all in and making the moves to finish strong this season. I'm all of a sudden extremely optimistic about what the summer will bring us Mercato wise, because these guys have a clear plan. This is the biggest thing that's been lacking for a while. Frankie and I spoke a lot about it. I've been very, very vocal about it on the show and everything. And it was past Mercatos, obviously under different leadership. We were taking opportunities, and a lot of the moves didn't make sense for the club, personnel wise, player wise, who you're bringing in. All of a sudden, things make a lot of sense. And we have clear plans, and it's looking great. And not only that, but the guys executed it. They went out there and got the deals done. Massive swing. And this, again, anybody that would have had issues with Agnelli and obviously Nedved and what that have to realize that, every guy has their role. Agnelli has given the freedom to those guys in those sporting director roles and whatnot. And yes, he oversees and overlooks everything, whatnot, but he puts a lot of trust. He's the business mind. We got to remember that. Like, that's kind of his thing. Arriva Bene and Cherubini are absolutely cooking. And Cherubini has no fear with the young guys. He wants to get young guys. And why? I've been saying this for a long time on the show too. You never lose with the young players. You never, ever lose.
Or don't lose as big.
Obviously, Kulusevski, it could have been easy for Paratici if he were here still to lose on that type of situation, because he would get talked down to, in the sense that Kulusevski hasn't broken out with us or whatnot. In the long run, it almost works out as a wash for Kulusevski, but it shows up as a capital based on amortization. But it's essentially the same that we brought him in for. And if you look at his couple seasons with us, it hasn't been anything crazy, and he was expendable to us. So we did great.
Three things. While you're here, please like the video. It's that little thumb. Push that while you're here. Helps us out. Helps the whole team out. Pushes us forward just a little bit further. Second, get your Storm the Barn questions in. It's never too early. We save them on the side here. We can always loop back to them later on. So like the video, Storm the Barn. Al, to your point, one thing I sort of took away from this Mercato was this puts the other teams on the back foot, because we made so many moves in January. It's like, oh shit, like how many more moves do we have to make in the summer? It almost, kind of unsettles the other teams. Like, okay, Juventus is making these moves. Okay, Inter went and got Gosens. Did that deal finalize? Because I was so busy following our transfers.
Yeah.
It's
that deal finalized. So
Yeah.
Inter made one move, but you can see that making these moves kind of it unsettles other teams, because they're now behind the eight ball trying to make moves in the summer. and it also puts us in the lead to potentially go for other targets because they look at our roster and look at our management and say, look at the changes they're making. These guys are taking it serious. I'll give Juventus another look.
Yeah.
So it's a master stroke in January. There's nothing more you can say about it, really.
Absolutely. Frankie, anything to touch on, of course, with the Mercato and the management?
They were great, man. They were great. You see ideas being like shared between the management and the coach because that's important thing. I think that the arrival of Allegri and the reassurance that he's gonna get at least a couple of seasons because with that high salary and being Allegri, he's gonna get the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
So with that settling in, and also the management speaking to him, knowing what do you need, what's the plan for the team, what do we need as a team, makes more sense because you bring in players. It don't matter if the price is very high or low, but that benefit the team. Now, like we could always say his input. This player, maybe we can sell him. This is not as important. This other player, I don't know if we should sell him. I think we should keep him. So that those kind of things, the communication is key. Is key. Now I'm finally seeing a management who's working with the team all in one unit, like a clock. You need to be as a clock. And that's something that I'm really happy about. I see moves being good. I'm very excited about the future of Juventus because we see also all those young guys coming back. We can tell what players we want to keep, what players are we going to move, and we're good. And also let's think about the other top four teams didn't make moves other than Inter, who got Gasses, who's not going to play until February because he's injured. And there are people in Atalanta saying that it was a good move because they got 30 million for a player that they didn't frankly know if his return was going to be good because of the type of injury. That's other thing. So I'm extremely happy with the organization and the ideas, and I'm hopeful for the future of Juventus with these moves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. We're all pumped. Again, it's crazy. I keep waiting to wake up from the dream that we actually pulled this all off in a winter Mercato. Absolutely wild. But
Speaking of dreams, maybe I have a question for you both. If you're ready for one, it's an early Storm the Barn question, but I got a question for you. Let me write this down for a second so I don't mess it up. The question is, what was bigger for Juventus in this Mercato? The players we brought in or the players we sent out? What were bigger moves for this club?
players we brought in. But it doesn't, again, I think it happens because of the guys that went out, but
Hand in hand.
I'll go with the players that went out, not because they were bad, but because we finally see a management that is able to move from players that are not. I don't want to say, in the case of Ramsey, they are not good for the project, but in other cases that they are not working for the project, I finally see a management who is able to see this player maybe is not a bad player, but it's not working for us. Maybe we can get the money and try to invest it on a player that is going to work for us and for the team. So for me, I'm extremely happy for that. If we didn't sign Vlahovic, wasn't going to be the same. But I was going to be happy knowing that we were able to get off contracts or players that weren't working for us, and that shows something.
Yeah. But again, like they go hand in hand. I mean, like the offset that those guys, the deals that we were able to make going out helps with the funding of the whole Vlahovic thing too. So it's massive. But as far as pure impact, Vlahovic massive. Zakaria is going to have his say on this squad, no doubt, in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, it's big. And in terms of what we can do now, well, we'll get to that. We'll cover that. My question is, with the future being discussed of Paulo Dybala, just hypothetically, if he should go, some of the rumored names were Zaniolo, and Raspadori. But I want to know if there's somebody else on your guys' mind. And let's just say hypothetically, if Paulo goes, is it one of those two? Is it somebody else completely? What's on your mind?
It depends of Allegri because I'm not that sure that Allegri, if Dybala goes, wants a player that is like him. It reminds me a lot about when Coutinho was in Liverpool and Barcelona came for that money. Coutinho was a great player, but club wanted to you made a system, and Dybala Coutinho didn't fit that system. He was like, "What I'm gonna do? This is our best player, but I don't know how to use it." And what did they do when they sold Coutinho? Club was like, "Perfect. Now I don't have to deal with this type of player." If Allegri maintains a style of play which demands a player like Dybala, then we can start talking about players like Raspadori and Saniolo. But I'm not sure that Allegri would want to replace and have a player like Dybala. I think he would rather have a formation that has players with roles like 4-3-3, which has two wingers and a striker and the three midfielders. Those kind of formations. When you play with Dybala, you don't have the ability to do those kinds of formations because you usually have to obviously put Dybala as a second striker, try to make the team function because he's your best player. So I'm not that sure that Juventus is going to try to have another player like him. That's why I was happy when they didn't sign the guy from River. That was a guy like Dybala. And if the plan is not using those kind of players, then don't buy a guy like that.
Yeah. And I hear you. But if you had to choose,
well, if you had to choose, then probably go with. I will go with Raspadori because I'm always afraid of Sanolo getting injured, and I wouldn't
yeah,
want to.
it's unfortunate that
Yeah,
it's come to that, but that fear is there for sure. Anthony,
So I knew this conversation was coming today. And just because of this conversation, I put on the La Jolla shirt today. The number 10.
nice.
Striped
From
Hearts
Striped
apparel.
Hearts, of course.
God, I love this T-shirt. Anywho, I think he's staying. I'll just, I'll play the game, but I just want right off the top, I think he's staying. Now he is our highest paid player, so it goes with the territory. People are saying, let's get out of that salary. I will not hear the injury talk because we've played 31 games this year and he's appeared in 23, which puts him. Where does that put him, Al? That puts him pretty high on the list.
Paulo
That puts
Dybala.
him. Yeah, that puts him. Top 10 of players who've played this season. So I'm not concerned about the injuries, and so I'm not going to get into that sort of discussions. Now, if he goes, I will agree with Frank that it all depends on what type of player Max wants. I would much rather have a player like Milinkovic Savic than those two, right? Someone to come to like own that midfield and feed Vlahovic. Raspadori is a good player. I'm pro knee recovery, so Zaniolo is also a good shout. But I wouldn't take either one of those guys. I'd make the big splash and go for something like Milinkovic Savic.
but that's not a Dybala kind of player.
It isn't. No, that's why I agree with you to say I don't think they would try and replace Dybala with a player who's like Dybala. I think he would go a different route.
But you would be looking for Milinkovic Savic if he were to go.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd make a bigger splash than those two.
I think the midfielder. I think that's. I don't put it with this one because we would want somebody with more attack minded. If Paulo's going to go, I think Milinkovic Savic. Yeah, I mean, we would take him for different reasons, and we'd look to probably get rid of somebody else in the middle of the park to accommodate that, which we could, and get a healthy chunk of salary towards Milinkovic Savic. He would actually come in on less salary than the particular midfielder I'm thinking of currently that I think everybody knows would be public enemy number one in order to make the move happen. Have to find a suitor. Would have to agree. We'll have to see. But
I don't know who you're talking
for me, if Paolo does go, I would look at Rafinha or Raspadori, one of those types. Just yeah, get somebody in the attack, because all of a sudden, if we're going to lose another big attacking piece, as good as Milinkovic-Savic is, I would want somebody in the attacking phase. So those are two names that
If
come
we,
to mind for me.
if we if we lose the ball, probably go for a winger and play 4-3-3 and stop
Yeah,
with the nonsense.
yeah, exactly.
But
Probably.
he's staying. He's
But
staying.
he's gonna
He's staying.
he's
He's
gonna
staying.
stay.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're right.
Now we're gonna get to some
Maybe.
Storm the Barn. We're gonna get to, they were jumping on it early and put the call out, and we got some stuff coming in, and quite a few are very, very similar in terms of lineup, what we see as the best and whatnot. We will get to, Raph, you should be a French maid at the J Hotel.
It's gross.
Yeah. Crazy. Real quick before we get to Storm the Barn, obviously showing some love to our sponsors, Striped Hearts Apparel, stripedheartsapparel.com, website's up top. Obviously, if you haven't, only available for a limited time, pre-sale is on currently, and that's the Vlahovic tee. Obviously, you see the stickers in there.
I gotta put my order
Absolutely
in.
deadly combo. Treat yourself, hook yourself up. Great stuff. Obviously, it's a sponsor, another way to support us and the channel. And of course, the other way is new, which is Super Chat. That's been activated there for any donations. We thank you in any way, shape, or form you choose to support. And even if it's just being here, liking the videos and sharing to the live chat, which we love. Thank you, everybody. Now, what is your best 11? This seems to be the big question going around, and everybody's got different. I've seen a lot of, we put the question out immediately once we knew Zakaria was in there and Vlahovic, and we get a lot of different answers. It was actually very, very cool, very, very interesting to see. And this is one of the possibilities from Sky, of course, that has the 4-2-3-1 Quadrado as a winger. Bernardeschi, who's actually been okay for the season, didn't get much shouts in people's best 11 and whatnot, but Sky showing a possibility here. Obviously, defensively, that becomes like your 4-5-1 or 4-4-1-1, however you want to look at it. But is this your guys' best 11? What would you change? How would you change it? Frankie's ready to go. Fire away.
Frank, go ahead. I'm just checking something here.
I'll probably go the back four is get Sandro out of there, please. Forget Sandro. Get Pellegrini in there. I'm okay with Danilo, but I'll probably put Cuadrado as a right back, and I'll probably go with three midfielders and Dybala as a 10, and then two strikers. I would probably go with Zakaria playing as a CDM. Then you have the two other midfielders being Locatelli and Arthur. You put Dybala behind the two strikers, and I'll probably go Vlahovic and Morata.
All right.
Well, how much? Okay, before we get into all this, I'm going through quickly here. Fiorentina plays a 4-3-3. So does Vlahovic cater to us, or do we cater to him? When you have a player like that, you should be catering to him. So right off the go, I'm gonna because he's the man now, right? He's the guy. So I would right off the go say we need to adapt to go back or focus on a 4-3-3 instead of the 4-2-3-1. Would be my preference. What's the best lamp that we can, and I'll put that out to the people. What's your best 4-3-3? Or you may not agree, or you say, hey,
this is a variation of it. You're just a little bit lighter in the midfield because Dybala acts as that third one in an attacking phase, but your wingers become Cuadrado and Bernardeschi. I think either a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 caters to Vlahovic, because you're still going to have that. You're still going to have two wingers on either side of them any way you look at it. Is it the best? Is it the best we have, like, personnel-wise? And what would we change? I think I'd rather have the stability of three true center midfielders personally. And that's the only reason I would go to a 4-3-3. I know that people will say, well, then Dybala is kind of on the outs on that one, but I don't believe that's true. And I've never believed that's true. And I've been saying for a while, even before the additions of Zakaria and Vlahovic, whatnot, but I would use Danilo as an alternative on the left side. He can do it. Pellegrini and Danilo for me. Sandro is last resort. Absolutely last resort.
There's no
So
resort. It's
I'd wipe him out.
no
Pellegrini
resort.
and Danilo
No resort.
rotational on the left. Danilo can also rotate on the right. I would move Quadrado back. Quadrado to me has been funny and frustrating in every moment that we've put him forward as a winger. From the fullback position, he's been okay. He's been dreadful as a winger this season in all the matches we've attempted it.
Which
I
is
would
like
drop him
3.
back.
He's-
Dybala would be on the right side for me. I would play him on the right side because if Quadrado pushes from there, it lines up as a 4-3-3 on paper. Dybala still enters that role. On the left side, I'm fine with Berna as that left winger, but I wouldn't be scared to even drop Morata in there. Maybe even a 4-3-1-2 is a different variation of a 4-3-3 where Dybala can kind of have that free Roman role and you have Vlahovic and Morata up top to cook. I know that people have issues with that because they think it's a little too narrow, but obviously you would be more demanding on your fullbacks. Don't forget with Zakaria, who's a true box to box, whatever, he could still fill in and become that third kind of defensive phase player. He's big, physical enough, and that could spread your guys out across the back so that your fullbacks can kind of come up forward. The nice thing is we have a lot of options. I'd be fine 4-2-3-1. I'd be fine 4-3-3, fine 4-3-1-2.
Yep.
It's going to be interesting to see what Max dials up. But my preference would be a 4-3-3, to be honest. Just I like the stability of the three midfielders. And I think Zakaria could honestly be one of those guys that frees up Locatelli. You guys agree with that?
If you're a betting man, does Vlahovic start against Verona?
Yes. He should.
No,
He should.
he should, he should, but our coach is Allegri, so he won't.
There is absolutely no reason to not start
I
this
think
guy.
we agree with that.
This whole he needs to go. Come on. He scored 50% of our team's goals,
One
and
moment.
Verona's playing well, and they give us problems.
Not our team.
I'm calling Allegri. Tell him that.
Yeah. Okay. So lineups are there. We've got a ton of comments here.
Should we play
Alex
Arthur?
betting on the 442 diamond. There you go. Max didn't even start Locatelli for 2 weeks. Different.
Yeah, that was beginning of the season though.
Yeah.
Mid-season, he's already ready to go. Like he's been playing. He's in City. Like I agree that he should start, but I'm with Frankie. He won't start.
4-3-3 once Chiesa comes back, without a doubt. For me. Yeah, without a doubt. Let's get to the next one here. Do we need to sign a winger in the summer?
We need to sign a left back.
It's a midfielder.
Midfielder?
But at least that's only 2. At least we don't have to sign a striker, left back, and midfielder.
And we also have the in the sense of the midfielder. You guys know who I'm going with. I'm going with Fratesi. You get Fratesi, so that's the midfielder that I want for Juventus. You get one midfielder. You get the young guys coming back from loan also.
Don't forget, Rovella's coming back too, right?
Exactly. Rovella's coming back. So you already have two new midfielders. Then you talk about the left back position. I frankly would go with, I know people saying he's not ready. Get Cambiaso. And also you have already Pellegrini and Danilo who can play that position. So Cambiaso he doesn't need to be the savior right away. Like you do have a left back who has played well in Pellegrini. So it's not like we don't have anyone. We do have Pellegrini. And the winger thing, if Juventus wants to, but I think we have seen young guys who can play as wingers, and I don't see right now a clear-cut winger to go in the summer, like any that is available, that is makes sense, because the Juventus is not going to go to buy the one from Sassuolo or Berardi. He doesn't fit the mold, I think, for
I think
Juventus.
everybody's got to remember too. We need to wait for the clarity on our contract extensions with Quadrado,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bernardeschi, and there's still a lot of question marks there. And you're getting word that it's looking positive for both Bernardeschi and Quadrado on the extensions. But again, we have to wait because that's gonna dictate what happens as well, right? So we have
Frank,
to wait.
Fratesi, you're talking about the one at Sassuolo, right?
Yeah,
There's two.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's under contract until 2025. He's only 22. It's a minor contract, but I'm just saying he still has three years left on his deal.
Yeah.
So-
It's gonna be hard to get him, but
Yeah.
if we're gonna go for a midfield, go for the right one. I think that for the money we're gonna have to pay for the young. Maybe it's you go for Fratesi, young guy. He's slower. He's Italian, plays in Serie A, knows the league. So if you need to sell him later, you still have that cushion that he's Italian. Somebody's gonna come for him.
Yeah.
So I'll go for him first.
We've got man, they really are storming the barn today. We got a ton here. Let's try and get through a few more. Any possibility?
There's a lot.
This comes in from a niche here. Any possibility Allegri will turn Vlahovic into something else than a base striker? The threat of him being left back is always there. We need a left back, and with Allegri, you never really know.
Central back.
Those jokes are going to take place. No, Max has actually done very, very well with these types of strikers. The big target guys. I mean, we have to remember Max. We've been talking about it for a lot, especially this season. There's not a whole lot in Max's attack. It is very simplistic, and a guy like this that's lethal, big, physical, and very good technically. This is exactly what he needs. A threat in all facets. This is exactly what this team needs and what he needs. Max will do well with Vlahovic, and if he doesn't, unbelievable. I would have no words, but I can't see him not thriving.
Yeah,
like Mandzukic. Mandzukic was great with Max.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And is a big.
He also turned him to a left winger though, so you could see the questions.
Yeah, but he's not doing that with him. I don't think. I see Morata.
You don't even think he's going to start him, Frankie. Take it easy. Now all of a sudden you're flipping.
Yeah, but there are other games. He's not going to start the first game. We're clear on that.
Let's put a little bet out. Let's put a little wager. Okay. Frankie, I'm saying Max starts him in the first game, and if he does, I get to control what your Twitter profile picture is for a week. Okay.
For a week?
Yeah, a week. I get full control of what your profile picture is on Twitter.
You know, it's within reason. Within reason.
I don't know. A week is a long time.
It's a long time.
You gonna take that bet?
Especially him. You know what?
Do it, Frank.
Give me time. No, you need to give me time with that.
Do it now.
I'm not that sure. I understand, but I don't trust Max, and Max is gonna make me look bad.
You were confident like 5 minutes ago. You're like, 100%. This is gonna happen. What are we talking about here?
No, I'm not that confident now.
That's because Max is starting him. Okay. So what about Nandez? So we got Tariq coming in. What about Nandez? So the Nandez one would have been fantastic, but obviously fell through. I think it would have been a big boost. He's pretty versatile, right? So it could have helped on a couple fronts there, especially, when you got a guy that you're losing that covers a couple spots. Cool, even though we didn't use him that way. I think Nandez would have been a good boost. It was cheap. Obviously, they wanted obligation, and I'm glad that Juve backed out because they weren't ready for an obligation, and I don't think they should have been.
We would have 2 years ago, though. We would have made that deal 2 years ago.
For a boost down the stretch, Nandez would have been good, but for the obligation, I'm glad they kind of backed off, and it's good. It's the right move. Again, really kind of controlling what they want to happen and everything. And I like that. That's the big thing, is they're not just jumping into things. So obviously, and I got questions about it and whatnot, the backstory on Nandez and a lot of stuff going on in his private life and stuff like that. But I always try to steer clear of that and wait for, it to pass the final stages, because the presumption of innocence should never fade in my mind. So I don't even want to touch it, because I just want to touch on the footballing focus. So for anybody that was curious, and why we steer clear, is we leave that stuff alone and we talk strictly football, right? So
unless there's some closed circuit video,
unless there's some prison and what he had, but yeah.
Unless there's the closed circuit video, then it's like his ass is
guilty. But the team wasn't ready. The team wasn't also that confident on him. So, because if you're gonna get a guy, you go for the guy and all. And they know something. So I'm not. If you're not 100%, you don't go for obligation. So,
yeah.
And he cannot play right back. Well,
yeah, I know. I see Cliff coming.
Yeah, don't tell Omer.
Where are we at here? Let's try and rifle through a few more of these. Do you think the sale of Kulu and possibly going with the 4-2-3-1 means Sule will get more opportunities? I don't know if he's going to get more opportunities necessarily, but I definitely think he should be on more lists and potentially getting a few minutes here and there. But I don't know if it's going to open up to actual opportunities to break through. That's all I think.
I haven't seen enough. I think he has one goal with the U23 team.
He's a great player. He actually is a great player. I have high expectations of him. But do I think anything's opening up for him right now with the current team? I don't think so. But I think he should be. I think he should be on the bench. There was shouts for that when Chiesa went down, and I think they were right to use Kulu kind of ahead. That was Kulu's opportunity to break through, but he was always on the chopping block type of thing. And I think Sule should have been on bench. I still think Sule should be. Frankie, want to touch on Sule?
Yeah, I think he's talented enough to be on the squad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Something tells me that Max likes more Ake than Sule.
Ake was good, man. He
played
16 minutes.
Ake's, talk about a pure winger. That's the thing with Sule. Sule is another one of these crosses. He can be kind of like that hybrid attacking mid / winger. He's kind of like a Paulo in terms of how he plays, what he brings. Ake is more true pure winger.
Exactly.
So
that's why Max
point there.
Yeah, that's what Max would like him. I think he likes him more because he has that defined role. Yeah. I don't think he surely has that kind of a player.
Yeah. How confident are you that Dybala signs a renewal with us? I am at probably.
No, I'm doing that. With that, I'm doing the damn picture. He's signing the contract.
100%.
100%. 100%.
90%.
90?
Oh, by the way, just to help Luca, he has not played 5 minutes in all competitions for us. He's played 3 minutes.
Put the gun down, Frankie.
No. You said 90%. Say 100.
Put the gun down.
No.
Turn down the barrel.
Just kick him out, man. Just kick his ass out. I would say I'm going to go 100%. 90%. Hey, Al, you got a little bit of doubt creeping in?
90%. 90%.
Come on now.
I wish I could just say 100, but I have some doubts creeping up here. Lorenzo, with the new signings, does Locatelli still have the best hair on the team? This is a question for Anthony.
Are we like, what are we talking about here?
Anthony always gives him the hardest time for the salad there, as he calls it. Locatelli easily best hair.
Oh God.
Okay, and best hair on the team. Go.
Who's got the best flow? Who's got the best
Frankie,
salad?
Who's the best?
Well,
Frankie's
don't talk about
Chiellini.
No, Zakaria has to get the best flow right now.
Pellegrini's got some good hair. He's got some nice hair. He can do stuff with it.
He's a pretty boy.
Okay, that's enough of this.
Okay.
How far can we go in Champions League now, considering the two new additions?
Sticking with my prediction.
What
Semifinals, second leg. Bonucci gives up a penalty shot in extra time. We lose.
You're killing me. You're killing me with that.
That was my prediction at the beginning of the year, and it was at mid-season, and that's what it is now.
You just took 8 years of my life.
And still sticking with semifinals, Frankie.
I'm going semifinal, but not the way he said it. Penalty at the end of the game? Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Second
The
leg.
faith has been
Bonucci.
restored. We all of a sudden are much, much more formidable, I think, with
Yep.
these guys, definitely more formidable. All of a sudden, being nervous about Villarreal, now I think switches and they should really, really be on the lookout for us. We've got more than enough time to get things rolling with the new guys too. So
Yeah, when is that?
things are
February?
on the up, and now all of a sudden, much, much more confident in handling Villarreal. It will still be difficult, but I like us going into Champions League now with these players, no doubt. So yeah, I don't think that's out of the question. What you guys are calling? Absolutely, absolutely not.
February
Luca,
22nd. So 3
The only
weeks. 3 weeks to get things going.
yeah,
Okay.
good amount of time.
the only
Pressure
thing.
now
Oh, okay.
on Max question mark. Players have been clearly revamped and fit his demands much, much
Yeah.
more. No question that things
Yes.
are dialing up on Max, and he's got to get things right with this. Management did what they needed to do, and he's got to back it up now. There's no excuses for me in my eyes for Max. Top four finish now. We should be third, fighting for second. I think honestly, with these guys,
Yep.
second or third should be attainable with not too many problems, to be honest. In terms of Champions League, obviously you need some luck at times. Anything can happen, but we're calling for semifinals. I think he should deal with Villarreal with these guys, and then from there things can change or whatnot. But is the pressure on him? For me, 100%.
I don't think the pressure was ever
what do you think?
off, though. I don't think the pressure was ever like we're in fifth. We're in a good run. The clean sheets. We kind of went through it on the last pod before this winter break. But anyways, we have a good run, 9 or 10 unbeaten. The pressure is on now. Now, I would just think this probably alleviates some pressure because now he has his striker. So I think he'll be feeling better about himself than added pressure. I think it sort of works opposite in this case. But I understand, like, some people might think, oh, now you got the players. He has a vision, and now he just got added some arsenal, like to some tools to his arsenal. So no, I don't think there's any.
It's an interesting way to look at it if it alleviates the pressure, but I don't know, because at the end of the day, you still have a team that only scored 34 goals.
But we're in
below
fifth.
that doesn't play very well, that struggles against lower sides. So I think
fair enough.
if we come out and nothing changes, and now he's got the players, that excuse kind of fades away because he's got a much, much more formidable 11 that we can all agree on. It's all of a sudden much stronger. So I don't know if it necessarily like alleviates the pressure. I think it depends how the first few matches go, because there's going to be some chemistry issue. Like they have to kind of grow together and whatnot, but I think it should be much better than what we've seen. Frankie, what do you think in terms of the pressure on Max, what to expect?
Yeah, I think when everybody does the job that they're supposed to do around you, and you are the only one in charge, then the pressure obviously comes to you. But knowing Max, he's a seasoned veteran. He knows that. He's not a guy who's gonna be crumbling under that pressure. I know he's gonna try his best. Does he has more pressure now than before because he got the signings that he wanted? Yeah, but it's not something that is gonna affect him that much. I truly believe in Max in that sense. He's mentally strong. He's not gonna crumble. He's experienced. He has won. So I don't see anything changing in that sense.
Interesting. Look at this. Save this one, Richard.
Boom.
We'll reach the Champions League final this season. Kush saying we win the Champions League. Now
Love
I
it.
will lose
Love it.
my mind. Alex P coming. Don't come at me with this, Alex. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah.
That excuse is gone though with the players. Come on. No more bashing on Morata. No more bashing on Keane. You got Vlahovic, okay? We got Vlahovic. You got Zakaria to boost the midfield. This should go a long way. I'm done hearing about these players. Time for Max to get it rolling. He's got the best available option to us at 9 now. We got to make it happen. We got to make it happen. can we use Arthur as a center midfielder from now on? Because I think he is best as a center midfielder. So are you talking as an 8 in a 3-man midfield, or are we still talking as that holding deep line guy? I mean, that's not too bad, I guess. Arthur at the back, Zakaria on one side, Locatelli on the other. I mean, it's fine. I don't think
No.
Allegri sold on Arthur, though, and I think we've seen that he's just kind of going to be that change-up midfielder. What do you guys think?
I think that's why he brought Zakaria in, right, to play alongside Locatelli. That was all reports is that was his guy, and he got him. So Arthur might be seeing a lot more of the bench.
I will still play him because when they two play together, Luca and Arthur, you see the difference in quality, and you see the touches, and you see the moves, and you're like, man, and especially now with Vlahovic, you need guys who are going to able to keep position and don't make Vlahovic come for looking for the ball, because that's something that's a symptom that something is bad on the team. When you see the striker out of position, moving, trying to get the ball because he's not getting the service that he needs, that's the symptom that there's no ball circulation. And we have seen frankly the best performance I saw from Juventus. Was against Sampdoria, but it was that performance against Sampdoria when we play Arthur and Luca together. So
yeah, I'm not afraid of Arthur in this deep lying role defensively, as many are. I think, like, if it were me, your 3-man midfield is, Arthur in there with Luca on the side and Zakaria on one side, or even McKennie. We can't forget about McKennie. That's a good combo in the midfield. It's good balance. It's good. It's a good mix. Luca coming in saying that Zakaria can definitely cover up for Arthur, and no excuses. And the question was Arthur as an 8. So in a 3-man midfielder, Arthur as one of that 8, and I guess Zakaria as that more defensive-minded midfielder, kind of like what Madrid always did with the Casemiro role, right? But I don't see Zakaria as that guy, right? So it's kind of, he can do it, but I think his strength is that box-to-box type. Frankie, what do you think?
He's definitely stronger box-to-box. I wouldn't be afraid if you get a guy like him or McKennie. I'm not afraid of playing Arthur and Luca together.
Yeah.
Thank God we won't see. Thank God we won't see Rabiot Betancourt again together.
Oh my God. Yeah, can we all give it up for the last we have to see of those two sharing pitch? My God. And by the way, best of luck to Benta and
they're human beings. They're human beings.
Like,
all
the best of luck.
To Ramsey also.
Top class. The way they dealt with it, the way they handled it, the words by Benta, Kulusevski, very, very professional. Ramsey, I had a little bit of angst towards.
Come on.
Because of
why
how it went down. That's how you quickly turn yourself, into a villain. And, I don't know.
I apologize if I was
thankful for. Thanks for 112 minutes. Thanks.
I apologize if I was a little quiet there for a minute, but I got a notification that a new article came out in the Athletic from Jordan Campbell, and the headline is Aaron Ramsey, Rangers' biggest signing since Gaza.
Oh my God!
Wow!
Oh my God!
I can't wait to read this.
In other news, Rodrigo Rentencourt has followed me on Twitter now, so that's fantastic.
Oh, that's good. He's already settled there.
Let me ask you something. I've seen some Tottenham fans saying, "Oh, we got the next Pirlo."
With who?
I've seen those comments in Twitter. Oh, we got the next.
That who Rentencourt is?
Yeah.
They don't know.
They don't know. Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know his game. I actually do believe Conte will know exactly how to use Bentancur. Bentancur, I think, will do very well. I think he's actually suited for that league. I think he'll do okay. I see no problems there. Kulusevski, is interesting one because
Not
I think
sure.
he lacks the pace to really do well in that league, and I think he's going to be one of those
Oh.
positional issues like
Yeah.
we had here because he's not a true winger, he's not your true midfielder. He's kind of in between, and I don't know if he's going to do all right
No,
with Tottenham. It's going to be
It's like a
weird.
NASCAR
But
race over
Conte
there.
does play. We know he plays a counter-attacking game, and Kulusevski does thrive in counter-attacking play. So that could go either way. Personally, on Kulusevski, but I do believe Bentancur will do well with Conte.
yeah.
But
And
next
Kulusevski,
Pirlo, though,
no.
gee.
They're gonna run.
Yikes.
That's for sure.
And if
With
that's
Conte?
the Rangers' biggest signing, it's guys, that just about says it all as to what I said before. They're big over there, and that's about it. That's about it.
Big club. They're a big club. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, they're a big club. Not as big as Celtic, but they're a big club.
Yeah, that's debatable. Yeah.
I mean, are we living in the past here? What's going on here?
I'm just saying, big club, big following,
Oh.
big following.
Best part about
Maurice, they do.
Celtic was
Those
when
are the
we
big
went in
signing for
there and
Rangers.
absolutely rope-a-dope them, and I saw Lichtenstein throw Brown around there all game long, and then I believe was it Marquisio with the goal? Oh yeah,
Yep.
shut down the Celtic crowd very, very quick in that beautiful black kit from 2012-13.
That is the only kit that I haven't framed. That's the kit I wear for big games. That 8 Marquisio. That's the only one I wear.
Guys, hell of a Mercato.
Yeah.
Absolutely hell of a Mercato. A lot of fun wrapping up. We got the crowd. You guys were amazing in the live chat. Again, a couple quick ways to help the pod. Super chat, obviously, with comments that are highlighted and donations. And then, of course, getting over to see Striped Hearts Apparel, stripedheartsapparel.com. Vlahovic kit out and the new Ultra gear. Okay, I'm actually sporting the Ultra with the Italian surround there. Okay, sharp stuff. Get it. It's only available till the 15th of February, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And then we get on to the next designs. And by the way, the next ones, stellar. Absolutely.
We're
stellar.
getting
You're
some
not gonna wanna
sneak
miss
peeks
out
at
on
them. Gonna be
Guys.
beautiful. Oh, don't forget the Vlahovic giveaway, Al.
Yes.
The jersey.
Get over
That's
to Twitter. That
the
call
5th.
is going to be made on the match day live. We're going to pick the winner. Okay. If you're not following us on Twitch, make sure you get over there because there's 3 chances for you to make it into the finals. We're going to take one of the Twitch followers. We're going to take one of the YouTube subscribers, and we're going to take one of the Twitter followers. And then the 3 of those names will be randomized to determine the winner of the Vlahovic kit. Not only that, we're also very, very close to 5K on Twitter. When we hit 5K on Twitter, I'm going to give another Vlahovic kit away. Okay. So we've got 2 Vlahovic kit giveaways.
What
okay?
about 2,000 on YouTube?
2K for you. Maybe we'll make it in line. Let's go 5K on Twitter, 2K on YouTube, and then we'll give another one. Okay. Let's do
more free
that.
stuff
I
I'll
like
give
that.
away.
We have the next match this Sunday coming up. Verona.
Yep.
Going to be a big one. That match day live will give away the Vlahovic kit. Okay. Make sure you all stay tuned. Join us there. Okay. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we're going to get everybody fired up. And we're going to see if I control Frankie's profile picture on Twitter.
Oh,
for a
hell
week
no.
after
I didn't
Vlahovic
make
gets
that
the
bet.
start.
I heard it.
You
I
all
heard
heard
the
it here
agreement.
live, right? Everybody here live. can witness it.
I heard
Real
it.
quick, like the video. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you all for the support. Okay. We love it. And we will see you all soon. Fantastic Mercato. Let's get ready for Sunday. Fino alla fine, Forza Juve. Ciao.